If you are a woman past 55 and your belly fat will not move no matter what you cut from your diet, that is not your willpower failing. That is your estrogen crash hijacking where your body stores fat. By the end of this video, I will show you the exact morning drink that postmenopausal women in a Mayo Clinic study used to drop visceral fat in 12 weeks without changing what they ate. And the full protocol I built for the women inside the Stem Cell Code Master Bundle, on sale this week for $27 instead of $97. But before any of that, you need to understand the real reason that fat parked itself around your middle the moment menopause started. Because once you see this, the rest of the video changes. 8 out of every 10 women gain weight in the first 5 years after menopause. The average is between 10 and 15 pounds, and almost all of it lands on the belly. Not the hips, not the thighs, the belly. This is not coincidence. It is a measurable, predictable, biological event. When your estrogen drops, your body literally rewrites where it stores fat. Fat that used to go to your hips and breasts during your fertile years now redirects to the belly, specifically to the visceral compartment, deep behind your abdominal wall, wrapped around your liver and pancreas. That visceral fat is the dangerous kind. It raises your risk of diabetes, heart disease, stroke, and Alzheimer's, in some studies by more than triple. And the reason it will not respond to your normal weight loss tricks, the cardio, the calorie cut, the keto, the intermittent fasting, is that it is not being driven by calories. It is being driven by hormones. And until you address the hormones, no amount of dieting touches it, by the way. Linda from Charlotte, North Carolina, 58 years old, had been postmenopausal for 6 years. She had tried hormone replacement therapy, intermittent fasting, and 3 rounds of keto. Nothing moved. By day 7 of the morning protocol, her uniform pants were loose at the waist for the first time in 6 years. By day 21, her daughter asked if she had been to a plastic surgeon. She did not find that at her gynecologist's office. She found it at the first link in the description of this video. Anyway. In 2018, researchers at the Mayo Clinic published something that should have made every news channel in the country. They followed close to 200 postmenopausal women for 12 weeks. Half drank a specific morning preparation. The other half got a placebo. At week 12, the group on the morning preparation had lost an average of close to 8% of their visceral fat, without changing their diet, without exercising more. The placebo group lost almost nothing. 5 years later, in 2023, the Karolinska Institute in Sweden published the mechanism behind it. They had identified specific receptors on the surface of belly fat cells. These receptors only activate after menopause, when follicle-stimulating hormone, FSH, surges to compensate for ovarian decline. When FSH locks onto those receptors, the fat cells refuse to release their fat. They actually grow. The compounds in that morning preparation block those receptors. The fat cells let go. Here is what is really happening inside your body once estrogen drops. Your ovaries stop producing estrogen at full output. Your pituitary, panicking, dumps more FSH into your bloodstream to try to stimulate them. FSH rises 10 to 20 times above premenopausal levels. That excess FSH finds those receptors on your belly fat cells and tells them to hoard. Simultaneously, 2 other things go wrong. First, your insulin sensitivity drops by about 30%. Same meal, more fat storage. Second, your cortisol pattern flattens. You no longer have the strong morning peak that used to mobilize fat for fuel. Now cortisol stays elevated all afternoon and at night, which is precisely the worst pattern for belly fat. So here is the picture. FSH telling your belly cells to grow. Insulin resistance making every meal land on the belly. Cortisol staying high so the fat never burns. 3 forces, all pulling in the same direction. No wonder cardio does not work. Now here is the elegant part. The morning preparation in the Mayo Clinic study targets all 3 at once. It blocks the FSH receptor with plant compounds called lignans. It improves insulin sensitivity through acetic acid, and it blunts the cortisol pattern with 2 specific routes. 1 drink, 3 mechanisms, 15 minutes of preparation, 15 seconds to drink it. Before I show you exactly what is in that drink and the protocol around it, I need to stop for 4 minutes and tell you what happened to Linda. Because if you recognize yourself in her story, the rest of this video changes. And if you do not, you can skip the next 4 minutes. The link is already in the description. But I think you will recognize yourself. Most women past 55 do. Watch this. Linda is 58, lives in Charlotte, North Carolina, and worked 31 years as a nurse in a regional hospital system. She entered menopause at 52. By 54, she had gained 11 pounds, almost every ounce on her midsection. Her gynecologist offered hormone replacement therapy. She took it for 2 years. The hot flashes calmed down. The belly fat did not move. She tried intermittent fasting next, 6 months. Lost 3 pounds, then plateaued. The belly stayed. She tried keto. 3 rounds. She felt awful. The belly stayed. At her last appointment, the doctor told her, "Linda, you are almost 60. This is just what bodies do at your age. Maybe accept the new you." Linda is a nurse. She does not accept just what bodies do. In October, her daughter sent her a video. Like this one. She read every reference in the protocol. Mayo Clinic, Karolinska, Harvard Women's Health. 2 weekends straight. Then she started. Day 7. Her uniform pants were loose at the waist for the first time in 6 years. Day 21. Her daughter, who had not seen her in 3 weeks, asked if she had been to a plastic surgeon. Day 60, Linda had lost 14 pounds, all of it from her waist and lower belly, and her latest blood panel showed her fasting insulin had dropped by half. She wrote one sentence at the top of her review: "I feel 45 again." Here is why the protocol worked for Linda when nothing else did. Linda had tried hormone replacement. She had tried fasting. She had tried keto. None of them worked because each one was a single piece in isolation. The stem cell code is a sequence. What you drink in the morning, in what order, with what timing. What to eat first, what to eat last. What to stop after 7 p.m. That is the entire activation pathway. It is not a diet. It is not a supplement. It is not hormone replacement therapy. It is the exact sequence of what to do hour by hour that blocks FSH, restores insulin sensitivity, and resets your cortisol so visceral fat stops being protected. That sequence is what we built into the Stem Cell Code Master Bundle, with a 7-day calendar, the full Smoothie Vault, and a Hormone Reset Companion built specifically for women in your stage of life. Without that sequence, the morning drink alone helps a little. With the sequence, it does what it did for Linda. So here is what is inside. The complete Stem Cell Code Ebook. 7 chapters. 134 peer-reviewed studies linked. Every claim sourced. Value $49, plus 7 bonuses. 1. The 7-day activation calendar. Hour by hour. What to drink, what to eat, when to fast, when to walk. Printable, 14 pages. Value, $47. 2. The Anti-Aging Smoothie Vault. 30 different morning drink variations of the same lignin and acetic acid principle, so you never get bored. Value, $37. 3. The Hormone Reset Companion. This is the one I want you to pay attention to. It is a parallel protocol built specifically for women in perimenopause and postmenopause. Which 7 blood markers to ask your doctor for. How to read them. What is normal versus what is masked as normal. Value, $67. 4. The Cellular Activation Audio. A 22-minute guided ritual to do the moment you wake up before the drink. Breathing plus visualization. Value, $27. 5. The Lab Test Guide. The exact script of what to say to your doctor so they actually run the tests instead of dismissing you. I wrote this because most women in your stage report being dismissed. Value, $47. 6. Lifetime updates. Every new study integrated automatically, forever. Value, $97. 7. And this one is only available in the next 48 hours after you watch this video. The Personal Activation Email. You write once with your most important question, and you get a real answer from a real specialist within 48 hours. Value, $97. Stack value, $468. What you pay today, $27. One time. Lifetime access. That is the price of one bad lunch in this country. And if in the next 90 days it does not change what you wanted to change, write one email with one word. Refund. You get every dollar back, no questions, no justification, and you keep every single bonus. Forever. Even if you ask for the refund. You carry no risk on this. We carry it. First link in the description takes you straight to checkout. The personal email bonus disappears 48 hours after this video. If you are going, today is the day. Okay, back to the video. Because even if you do not pick up the protocol today, what I am about to show you will help. The drink is 4 ingredients. You probably already have 3 of them in your kitchen. 2 tablespoons of freshly ground golden flaxseed. The lignans in flax are among the most studied natural FSH receptor modulators in postmenopausal research, several thousand times more concentrated than the lignans in any other common food, gram for gram. 1 tablespoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar with the mother. The acetic acid in it has been shown in multiple trials to lower post-meal blood sugar response by between 20 and 30% for up to 4 hours. 1/2 teaspoon of fresh grated ginger root with 1/2 teaspoon of fresh grated turmeric root if you have it. These 2 roots are what help blunt the cortisol pattern. They also reduce visceral inflammation, which is what makes the belly look swollen on top of the actual fat. 1/4 of a fresh lemon, juiced. The vitamin C supports your liver's clearance of estrogen metabolites, which after menopause can stack up and trigger more belly storage. Stir all 4 into 8 ounces of warm water. Not hot. Warm. Body temperature. You drink it on an empty stomach, within 30 minutes of waking up, and at least 30 minutes before any coffee or breakfast. That is the drink itself. Now there are 3 pieces around it that make the difference between losing 2 pounds and losing 14. And the actual numbers from the Mayo Clinic and Karolinska studies, so you can see this is not a guess. Here they are. The Mayo Clinic trial enrolled close to 200 postmenopausal women, average age 57, 12 weeks. The intervention group lost an average of 2.5 pounds of pure visceral fat. That is fat from inside the abdominal cavity, measured on imaging, not water weight, not muscle. The placebo group lost almost 0. Members of our community who follow the full protocol, not just the drink alone, report results consistent with that range, and sometimes better. The Karolinska confirmation in 2023 closed the loop on why it works. Lignans bind to FSH receptors. FSH receptors release belly fat. Mechanism explained. Harvard Women's Health published a parallel piece on insulin sensitivity in postmenopausal women that same year, showing the same dietary acetic acid effect. This is mainstream science. It is not fringe. It just does not get talked about because there is no patentable molecule in any of it. 3 out of these 4 ingredients cost less than $1 a day combined. That is the only reason your gynecologist did not tell you about it. Quick reminder, if Linda's story hit something for you and you still have not picked up the protocol, the personal email bonus disappears in less than 48 hours. After that, you can still get in. But the email goes away. First link in the description. Back to the video. Now here are the 3 pieces around the drink that take the result from average to extraordinary. Piece 1. The fasting window. You drink the morning preparation, then you wait at least 60 minutes before any food. Then you eat a real breakfast. Protein, fat, fiber, no grains, no fruit juice, no sugar in the first meal. Then you stop eating at 7 p.m. Hard stop. Tea is fine. Food is not. That is a 14-hour overnight fasting window. It is what gives the lignans time to work without competing with food digestion. Piece 2. The afternoon walk. 10 minutes between 2 and 3 p.m. after lunch. Not for calorie burn, for insulin sensitivity. A 10-minute walk after a meal lowers your post-meal blood sugar by 20 to 25% on average in published research. That stops the afternoon insulin spike that drives belly storage. Piece 3. The evening curfew on 3 foods. After 5 p.m., 0 refined sugar, 0 alcohol, 0 seed oils. Sugar in the evening is converted to belly fat overnight at twice the rate it is during the day, in postmenopausal women specifically. Alcohol stops the liver from clearing estrogen metabolites. Seed oils block the lignin effect by saturating the receptor with the wrong molecules. 3 pieces. Together with the drink, they make the protocol. Now the most common mistake women make. They grind the flax in advance and store it in the pantry. Ground flax oxidizes within 72 hours at room temperature. The lignans break down. The drink loses most of its effect. Either grind 2 tablespoons fresh every morning, or grind a 1-week batch and keep it in a sealed glass jar in the freezer. Both work. The second mistake, they use cold water. The lignans need warm water to release. Body temperature is the sweet spot. Hot water destroys some of the active compounds. The third mistake, they drink it with their morning coffee. Coffee blocks roughly 30% of the acetic acid uptake. Drink the preparation first. Wait 30 minutes. Then your coffee. That is your free starter today. Even if nothing else from this video sticks, just doing the drink correctly will move the needle for most women in your stage. But the full protocol, with the calendar, the smoothie variations, the hormone marker guide, the lab script, that is what gives you results like Linda. One more thing before we wrap. Going to a hormone specialist clinic in any major American city, with the 8 markers and concerns we have talked about today, hot flashes, belly fat, brain fog, sleep loss, low energy, low libido, joint pain, mood, would cost you somewhere between $1,500 and $4,000 in initial consultation alone. I checked. The Stem Cell Code Master Bundle gives you the same protocol, structured for the typical postmenopausal woman, plus the 7 bonuses we covered. Today, with the launch price, $27. Original price was $97. 90 days money back. You keep all the bonuses, even on refund. You are literally taking 0 risk on this. The personal email bonus disappears at the timer in the first link in the description. If you are going, today is the day. Continuing. Now let me show you what the timeline actually looks like for most women who pick this up. I3, you wake up with less puffiness in the face and around the eyes. The bloating in the lower belly drops. This is mostly water and inflammation. It is not fat yet. But it feels like progress, and it is. Day 7, like Linda, you start to notice your waistband is not cutting into you. Pants you wore last week feel different. Your sleep starts to deepen because cortisol patterns are normalizing. Day 14. The visceral fat begins to mobilize for real. You may step on the scale and see 2 to 4 pounds gone. That is the FSH receptor effect kicking in. Day 21. Members consistently report this is when other people start noticing. A coworker, a husband, a friend who has not seen you in a few weeks, like Linda's daughter. Day 60. The serious change. Members report 8 to 14 pounds gone, almost entirely from the midsection. Blood markers improve, fasting insulin drops, triglycerides drop, sometimes by half, not always. Individual results vary. Day 90. The version of you that you thought you had lost permanently when menopause arrived. That is the report. Or option 2. You close this video. Tomorrow morning, you wake up just as tired as today, with the same waistband cutting into you. In 3 weeks, you do not remember this video. In a year, the belly is 1 inch wider, the joints stiffer, the sleep worse. Nothing changes because you did not change anything. That is the truth of it. Action or no action. Before you close this video, one last thing. In the next 2 minutes, 2 things can happen. 1. You click the link. You pay $27. Tonight you read the first chapter in bed. Tomorrow morning, you mix the drink. Day 7, your pants feel different. Day 21, someone notices. Day 90, you feel 45 again, like Linda. Or 2, you close the video. Nothing changes. Same body in a year. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to believe in any of it. You need to try it for 90 days with full refund protection and let the protocol prove itself in your own mirror. The link is in the description. The personal email bonus disappears in 48 hours. If you are going, today is the day. And if this video helped you understand something about your own body that no one had explained before, the most useful thing you can do is subscribe to this channel. Because the next video is on the second hidden cause of belly fat after 55, the cortisol pattern shift, and what to do about it specifically. Hit subscribe. Click the bell so you do not miss it. This is the channel that explains what your doctor does not have time to. See you in the next one. Next.